What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's your man Stephen Bardo coming at you with the post-game beverage. First time I had a chance to change the logo here. Those of you on IG can't see it. Meredith Evans, thank you, because Meredith called me out for having such a weak name. She loved the pregame sauce, but she said I was weak on the postgame. So it's the postgame beverage. Here it is. Illini fans are jumping on here quick. People are a little hot about this game, I see. I got to rely on my tribe, y'all, because I was calling Indiana State Purdue. I was trying to keep an eye out. I saw various parts of the game. I heard that the refereeing was less than desirable. Missouri seemed to live at the free throw line. As I was racing back from the studios, I was listening to Brian Barnhart and Deion Thomas talk about the number of fouls that were committed on both sides. And you tip your hat to Missouri. I was trying to tell you guys, it could have been bad officiating, but I was trying. What's up, Stephen Paul? Love you, man. Good to see you. I was trying to tell you guys that in these games, it doesn't matter what your ranking is. Missouri and Illinois play close games every single time, right? And I know Illini fans are upset, and they look at Missouri and they don't see a ranking in front of their name. These are grown-ass men. They don't need an ID to go get beer. These are old dudes. They're tough. They know how to play. I believe they had, let me pull this up, because I believe they had 4 or 5 guys in double figure. Yeah, they had Pickett had 14. Smith had 17. Pinson had 17. And Brown had 12. Tillman was 0-2 for the game. He wasn't even a factor, and they were still able to win. So I know you guys are looking at the free throw disparity. 26 made free throws and 17 Illinois. Yeah. But what I'm looking at is a 3 of 13 from 3. And the Illini, they got beat up on the glass. They were -9 on the glass. Illinois, one of the best rebounding teams in the country. So you can point to the missed free throws, you can point to the bad officiating, but you got to tip your hat to the Missouri Tigers because, they brought it. They brought it. Let's see. Jeff Jarvis frustrated. Now the Mizzou fans are going to come out of the woods. Well, the Mizzou fans are cool. We can't knock the Mizzou fans, can we? Shot 60%, 23% from 3, out-rebounded 31-20, and lost by 3. Kenny McReynolds was up. So now you guys are starting to look at the statistics at the end of the game, and you're starting to see some things, right? So you get out-rebounded. Supposedly officiating was bad. What's up, Richard McBride, ILL? So you got all these things going against you, and yet it's a 3-point game. Ayo Dosunmu was outstanding until that last possession. I don't know what happened. I saw Kofi, and I think he wanted to go left on the ball screen action. The defender jumped on his left hand, forced him right, but I didn't understand that off-leg shot by Ayo. I don't know. He saw something. He got mixed up or something, or he felt rushed. But that was a tough last possession for a wonderful game by Ayo. 36 points. He set a Illinois scoring record in this game. It surpassed Andy Kaufman, who had the previous record by he scored 33 in this game. He had the previous record, but tough one there. So people are starting to see this. Let's see. Jay Hood. That was a great game. Illini can build on this game. Details. Thank you, Jay Hood. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for chiming in. Jeremy Massengill, you said it was going to be a game. I followed on the app, so I didn't see the actual game. Yeah, Jeremy, I was like you. I had my computer set up, but I was working. I had Indiana State Purdue, which was a pretty good game until the very end. And so I couldn't pay much attention to the Illini. I would get it, I would look and they'd be down 10 or they'd cut it to 6. And then when I got in the car, they cut it to 1. Then they tied the game. Then I got back here and watched the last 3 minutes. And, but you got to tip your hat to Missouri. They played well. Need more than Io, Mike Waldboozer, no doubt about that. That was a crushing loss for Illinois. Don, why do you say it was a crushing loss? I mean, when we look back at the end of the year, Missouri could very well win the SEC. This is a top 20 team. Don't get caught in the rankings, ladies and gentlemen. The rankings are for fans. It don't mean shit. It don't mean nothing at this point in the season. Rankings mean nothing because teams have had games canceled. Some people didn't have a preseason. It's very fluid. So I disagree, Don. I don't think it was a crushing loss. I just think it's something that the Illini can build on. Mike Waldboozer said they need more than Io to step up. So let's look at this. Let's look at the stats. TV Telly, what's up? Clint Robb, 35. Jason Haskins, what's good? Coburn, 8 of 10 from the field, 19 points. Pretty good outing. Adam Miller, 1 of 6. So the freshman had a freshman game. Okay, no problem. Io DeSumo, we talked about it. DeMonte Williams, 1 of 3, and Trent Frazier, 1 of 3. Those guys need to take more shots. Andre Cabello is coming on. He had 14 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. He only had 2 turnovers. He was 5 of 10 from the field. But if you're going to get some added production for Io DeSumo, it's kind of surprising Cabello's coming on now. But DeMonte Williams and Trent Frazier, if they want to have more balance offensively, they've got to have those 2 upperclassmen, 2 seniors, step up and take more than 6 shots between them. Let me get back here. Meredith, Travion Williams had a monster game, and he was on the bench. He started the game on the bench. Matt Painter sent him a message, and he responded. Mizzou brought the energy on both ends all game, says TV Telly. Telly, Quanzo Martin, more so than anybody, understands the nature of the Illini-Mizzou rivalry. He did not play in it, but he's an East St. Louis native. He grew up watching it. Like Telly is an East St. Louis native. So that game in St. Louis every year, Quanzo understands how big a game it is for both programs. And as a result, they've won, I believe that's 4 in a row now for Missouri. So kudos to the Mizzou Tigers. You got to take your hat off. The flagrant foul on Kofi was a joke. I'm glad I did not play today. Can't even breathe out there, says Carol Paul Paquette. Carol, that was a tough call on Kofi. That was a difficult call. And again, these bigs in college basketball, they get penalized for just being too big. Both teams refused to score the last 5 minutes. Billy Hillbreen, Illini not utilizing their bigs correctly. Why do you say that, Billy? Why do you say they're not utilizing their bigs? Because Kofi Coburn, according to the box sheet that I'm looking at, he was 8 of 10 from the field. I mean, 10 attempts. Bashanis Veely only took 1 shot. So maybe you're talking about possibly Bashanis Veely. But out of the 55 field goal attempts, Iowa took 20. Kofi took 10. So you're looking at 25 shots between the rest of the team. It's not a lot of attempts. So it's just one of those games. Willie Winky Williams, officials were horrible, but we still have to make free throws. See, and Willie's right, ladies and gentlemen. I know you guys are upset. But what happens when you go on the road to Big Ten if you're Illini and you get a bad whistle at Michigan State, but you hit your free throws and you leave East Lansing with a victory? Nobody will talk about the officiating then. It happens. You have games where officials, they struggle like all human beings struggle. They struggle. Sometimes they have a bad game. But I saw a couple fouls that Corbello made. Freshman, I get it. But you got to be smart in those situations. Let's see. Dun 77. Greetings from Southern Illinois. Missouri's free throws help Tigers win. Free throws can win ball games. Yes, they can. And Missouri took advantage of that. C. Miller. Wait a minute. My brother was just calling me. I'm going to have to hit him back. Jeff Bowling, going 17 for 28 from the free throw line is not going to cut it. Agreed. See, so where Jeff and who is the other one? Somebody, Dun 77. There was a couple people that talked about the free throws. See, I like to look at what teams could have controlled. You can't control the officiating. If you miss 11 free throws in a rivalry game and you lose by 3, that shows the Illini did some really good things. But they've got to shore that up. Is that let's see. Ayo with 3 bad possessions that cost the game. He was killing before that. Corey Lockwood. Yeah. Are you talking about the last 3 possessions, Corey? That last one was, I don't know. He saw something. They set up a ball screen action. Kofi comes up on his left side. To see if in the perfect scenario, you want Ayo coming right off of a screen action, in my opinion. He doesn't handle the ball well enough, in my opinion, to go left in a situation like that. But that's what the play called for because he had a banana cut to get the ball on the inbounds, and he was running up the right side. So unless Kofi was going to jump along the sideline, he was in the middle. That was the only way they could go. Ayo saw something he didn't like, and it really threw him. And then, thus, I just would like to see him come to a jump stop and explode for a 3. You got a much better chance of hitting that 3 in that scenario than going off 1 foot. I didn't see the other 2 possessions that you're referring to, Corey. Carroll spoke like a true Illini. Because they were coming back for the win, they had Missouri against the ropes. Okay. Why are we constantly giving up baskets on set plays after timeouts? Seems like concentration. Kotler Lee, I'm going to go back and watch the film. That's a heady observation by you right there. A lot of people don't pay attention to those out-of-bounds plays. And if you're very good at those, that's the difference between a win and a loss. That's really good recognition. Can't leave your feet on that play. Give yourself up too early. Is that Mike True? That's Mike True. What's good? The Paul men's basketball, what's happening? Good to see you guys. So Kotler Lee, that's a very good observation. I'll go back and look at that because that's something that needs to be charted. Illini need that consistent 3-ball shooter, says Corey Lockwood. I can see why you're saying that, Corey, because the Illini went 3 of 13. But think about it. The Illini were 53% from 2-point land. So, Michael Kim, what's up, Michael? How you doing, man? Good to see you on here. The Illini were 3 of 13 from the 3, but they were 29 of 55 from 2-point range. That's 53%. So, the Illini didn't get a lot of threes up. They didn't knock down a lot of threes, but they obviously had success inside the 3-point line. So some nights you're just not going to have it there. And again, if I would argue that Adam Miller is probably the best 3-point shooter the Illini have, Adam Miller is a freshman, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going up against a bunch of old dudes who game planned against him, thus him being 1 of 6 with 4 fouls. So let's see. Jeff Bowling. When Kofi shoots free throws, his left foot is not squared up as it should be. It was about a 15 to 30 degree angle. His left foot needs to be squared up facing the basket. Jeff, everybody's different. Everybody's different. I've seen who was this guard? Dang. I was watching a game the other night, and it was a guard that was all centered. He was to the right of the free throw line. And it wasn't straight on. He didn't line up on the nail. Both his feet were off the center. So all that technical stuff, free throws are repetition and confidence. That's it. Jamal Wilkes used to shoot like this. He used to wrap the ball around his head. But as long as the follow through is like this, when it looks like this, all that squaring up and all that stuff, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The how you line up on the line and all that doesn't matter. Kofi's doing let's see what he did from the line. Okay, Kofi was 3 of 6. He's 50%. He's usually better than that, but he got six attempts at the free throw line. And I think what happens, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you see a team shoot as well as Mizzou did from the line, it makes you think about the Illini's deficiencies. Mizzou was 26 of 31 from the line. That's outstanding. That's 84% on the game. That's outstanding. So I think, you can nitpick all you want, but you got to give Mizzou some credit. Boy, it's lit up tonight. Folks a little hot. Let's see. Illini Dave K feels like offense in the last few minutes had no flow. I could see that. The last few possessions, Illini Dave K, were a little disjointed. Raphael Davis was good. Charlie James, good to see you on here. Still don't think Kofi gets enough touches on the block. Charlie, that's legitimate. If you're 8 of 10 from the field, you probably need to get a few more touches. But Io had an otherworldly game into those last few possessions. So fair point. Derek Dunn, greetings from Southeastern Illinois. Despite the terrible officiating on both sides and a horrible flagrant call, Missouri's free throw shooting was huge in their win. Illini can build on this. Good call, Derek. Let's see. Michael says the defense seemed to be an issue all night, and they are a poor rebounding team. Missouri's not a poor rebounding team. They're not as elite as the Illini are, but they're not a poor rebounding team. That's not, because I looked up the Ken Palm statistics for the analytics with tempo put into it. Missouri's they're not a poor rebounding team. They're not as good as the Illini, but they kick the Illini's butt on the glass. That's effort and energy, right? Creighton Hoops was good, y'all. Good to see you on here. Billy says should be playing Kofi more. Should be playing Georgie more with Kofi high-low. Then if they get both in foul trouble, Billy, you're screwed. I don't like to question Brad Underwood. Here's why. You lose to Baylor, which is arguably the best team in the country. You lose to 3 points on the road to Mizzou, who will challenge for an SEC title. Trust me when I tell y'all this. Mizzou is going to challenge for an SEC title this year. All right? So don't question. You can question effort. You can question free throw shooting. You can even question decision-making down the stretch. But don't question Underwood. You don't want to do that. Because the Illini have put themselves in position to win every game this season. And Underwood has a lot to do with that, right? So if it was a last-second play and the Illini looked discombobulated or something like that, then maybe you could say, okay, what were the coaches thinking? But I don't like questioning coaches in that scenario. I don't like to do that. We will come out stronger with a loss like this. Doesn't feel great today, but we will be stronger. C. Miller, 781. I like that sentiment, Mr. Miller, or C. Miller. William White, free throws cost him that game. Okay, Joffrey Bork. Now, this is interesting. Listen to this, IG, because I know you can't see the questions as they come up. Jeffrey Bork says Andre Curbelo should have had the ball in his hands late more. So, Jeffrey, you're going to take the ball out of an All-American's hands that has 36 points against a rival in a rivalry game. You're going to take the ball. You want to take it out of Io's hands and you want Corbello to have the basketball late, can't go with you on that one. Thank you, Gage Spiegler. Good to see you on here. I disagree on that one. Let me give you an example, Jeff. I was as sure-handed as they come as a freshman, and I started in the Big Ten. But guess what? Lou Henson was smart enough to know that late game situations, Tony Weisinger is a senior. Doug Allenberger is a senior. Ken Norman is a senior. They'll have the ball in their hands. You got to ride with the women that brought you to the dance. Corbello's new on the scene. He's good. He's going to be great. But you can't abandon your upperclassmen. In hindsight, can't do that. I would have liked to see Coach draw up a play towards the end of the game. We had 3 turnovers in a row with Io and Kofi in the pick and roll. Missouri adjusted to that play. I believe Coach should have drawn up something to get a bucket when they were down 2, says Willie Williams. All right. You want to question the play call? Tina, what's up? Good to see you. Okay. Fair enough. I said I wouldn't question Underwood. I don't like doing that. But if you think they could have done something different in that scenario, okay. Defense and rebounding cost them. Yeah, I would say the rebounding cost them because Mizzou brought the energy. Like Telly Hughes said earlier, Missouri brought the energy on both ends. Coming down, Corey Lockwood, down 2 over a minute left, and he lost it. Down 2 with 1 minute left, he pushed off for an offensive foul. Then the last possession you mentioned. Fair point, Corey. Now, let me ask you this, Corey. Like, was it Jeffrey? Or somebody before, did you want to see Corbello with the ball in his hands? Did you want to take it out of Io's hands? I mean, that's a gutsy call. And in hindsight, everybody's got 20/20 vision. But I don't think I would have taken the ball out of Io's hands. I'm sorry. I had to disagree with you on that. Okay. K Help 69 says getting out rebounded, beat to most 50-50 balls is no bueno. Sign of effort. Spot on. Can't disagree with that. Michael Payne, what's up, family? These are games you have to learn from heading into Big Ten play. Illini gave up 9 offensive rebounds while being out-rebounded by 9. Those extra possessions add up. Let Big Ten play begin. Great call. And those on IG that don't know Michael Payne is an Iowa great. Played professional basketball, family member of mine. And so Michael will sound like a coach or, somebody that's in because he knows the game. But that's a great call, Michael. Would love to see Kofi use that forearm to block out more. Said Tony Hobson. That's pretty good, Tony. I like that. I've seen you on multiple networks. Will you be color commentating Big Ten games? Great work. Thank you, C. Miller. Yeah, I cover Big Ten for Big Ten Network and Fox Sports, and I cover the Big East for Fox Sports as well. So you'll see me on a couple different, those 2 networks, and then this show right here. That's where you'll see me. But thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Willie. I trust Coach, and I'm riding with Illinois for life. Excited for the future. There you go, Willie. Now, Willie, I mean, hey, see, this is why I love doing this, because you guys, did you do the game at Mackey? Gage Spiegler, we're not doing games. Primarily, we're not on site. So we're doing games from the Big Ten studio downtown Chicago. And then some of the guys are doing the games from home that can't travel in or not, that don't live in Chicago. So, no, I was not at Mackey Arena. If I was, that would have been the fastest drive you could have ever seen from West Lafayette to Chicago. I'd love to teleport that fast, but I can't do that. Let's see. Absolutely not. Io keeps the ball. Just make better decisions next time. There you go, Corey. All right, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Because isn't it funny, ladies and gentlemen, how when a guy can score 36 points, but boy, if he screws up in those last 3 possessions, that's the lasting taste that you have from his performance. I didn't get a chance to see I didn't see the game, the majority of the game. I saw probably the last 3 minutes. I saw a little bit, like with 6 minutes left, we finished, and I watched the game right when we went to the timeout. Then I sprinted out to try to get home to watch the rest. But it's funny how that happens, isn't it? G-Town MD says, Kendall Gill, Stephen Bartle got my money on them every time. That's right. What's up, Robbie Tat? Let's see. Billy says, don't be mad, Bartle, but Underwood's coaching record so far is 50 and 52 at Illinois, but I like him as well. Good point about Kofi and Georgia at the same time. But Coleman Hawkins, 6'10 freshman, is another big. And Billy, trust me, if Hawkins was ready, he'd get more minutes. Guys, you got to understand, Illinois is in the toughest conference in the country, right? So they'll come into Big Ten play with a loss to Baylor, number 2 in the country. In my opinion, I thought they would have beaten Gonzaga when the two met up. So you talk arguably, pardon me, the best in the country. Oh yeah, it's Postgame Beverage. So I ain't getting no money from this sponsor, but I do have my beverage. So I can't show y'all what it is, but you could probably guess. So Postgame Beverage, got to have a beverage, right? All right, Billy. Look at Underwood's record in the last 2 years. Or the last year and this year. Because really last year is when he got his team, so to speak. Got to give a coach a few years to turn the roster into his team. So last year, he kind of got the roster where he wanted to, and he saw what happened. So I get what you're saying. As a coach, you live and die with the guys that you know. Cabello is good, but Underwood knows who needs the ball late. I agree, Jeremy. Dan Pearson, Underwood does a nice job managing the game, including on tough calls and crunch time. He moves on to the next play, even on difficult calls. He keeps the guys' heads in the game. I agree, Dan. I totally agree. Hard to lose by 3, but they fought back from double digits. Dory, Melman, Petsrio. That's a great point. And again, respect the Mizzou Tigers. You guys, I know a little bit about this game. Mizzou is going to vie. They'll be in contention unless they have injury problems or something unforeseen happens. They will be in contention for an SEC championship. They're one of the oldest teams in college basketball. Tillman didn't do anything tonight because he got in foul trouble, but he's a solid big. So there's nothing to be ashamed of for the Illini tonight, losing at Missouri, coming back from double digits, overcoming what folks think spotty officiating. They had to overcome all that, and they were possession away from sending that game into overtime. That's a lot to hang your hat on. So let me see if we got anything else. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be I might do a pregame sauce. It's going to be early. Penn State, Michigan kicks off the Big Ten season. Don't sleep on Penn State. Now, I'm not saying they're going to walk into Michigan and handle them, but this is a dangerous Penn State team. They dropped a tough one at home against Seton Hall in overtime, and they turned around and beat the 15th team in the nation, Virginia Tech, on the road by 20. So this is going to be an interesting game, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., Big Ten Network, Penn State at Michigan. I'll be on the call. I'll come in the morning with a pregame sauce. Got to get that sauce. All right? Yep, Jeff said it right. Jeff said it best. This game will make them stronger. Going to the Big Ten, a dogfight. Going to be a big dogfight in the Big Ten. No doubt about it. All right, it's 10 o'clock. Y'all can still get your drink on. Go get your beverage. Enjoy the people that you're around. Stay safe. Stay warm because it's getting a little chilly in Chi-Town. Love you guys. Have a great Saturday evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Peace, y'all.